All right, Chimaev just posted on Twitter him and Dricus with like an AI edit, and it looks like him holding the belt. And I mean, it's a pretty cool edit. But yeah, I think he's probably alluding to fight news soon. And obviously, it's a no-brainer that he's going to get the title shot next. That's without a doubt. But when it's going to happen is the big question. And if you look at these pay-per-views, we got, Bilal and Jack, May, O'Malley Marab, June. So it could be July, it could be August. I really hope they don't wait till October because I think October is always the Abu Dhabi card. And I think he's fought there enough. Obviously, I know that's, the reasons why he wants to fight there. And, it's a little like, I guess, not a home field, but in a sense, home field advantage. He's got a lot of his fans and fan base, especially in the Middle East. But yeah, I think Dana White probably wants to bring him in for American card, especially for the pay-per-view, because I doubt they're going to South Africa anytime soon. And especially with Russia, I don't think they're going to go to Russia either anytime soon. I think Dana wants to bring him to the States, especially since everyone's like, oh, can Chimaev get into the States? Can Chimaev go here? Can Chimaev go there? And that's the thing. I'm not in his camp. I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know whether he can or can't. But I'm pretty sure since Dana's pretty good friends with the United States President Trump, that it'll be quite easy to get him through the border and on one of these American cards, especially since Trump, I think he's been going to like all these events. And that's probably really good for Dana, especially getting fighters in. And yeah, I really, really, really think that they should announce something for Chimaev soon. Because obviously you could be just posting just to post, but generally where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think that Chimaev's probably going to get some fight announced or fight news announced soon. And I think Dricus really, really wants to test himself. Dricus wants to be the middleweight GOAT. And everyone's so high on Chimaev right now. I think it's a no-brainer matchup. Obviously, Chimaev's not the most active, but when he is, everyone and their dogs tuning in and watching. It is like big, big news. I think it's hard to say whether him or Topuria. I'm pretty sure Topuria probably has more hype right now, especially the way he's finishing everybody and he's knocking out legends. I think Chimaev, he's doing amazing. He just beat Whitaker, but I don't know if Whitaker's stock is that high right now. Especially in the top 5. Like I think Whitaker is easily like he's a solid gatekeeper for the top 5, but I don't think his stock is the highest. And I think that Topuria is probably a bit of a bigger star for sure, but Chimaev is a close second. And no, I really hope they get him announced soon because, like I said earlier, these Marab and O'Malley, no hype. Bilal, De La Madalena, zero hype. I think we really need some hype news, and I think Chimaev's the one to do it. I think Dricus Chimaev will be an amazing fight. I think it'll be really, really close. I'll make more predictions and breakdowns when it's around the corner. But as of right now, yeah, I'm super stoked for Chimaev's return. I think he's deserved a title shot for a while now. I think he probably should have got the title shot at welterweight because you got to strike while the iron's hot, and he was really, really popular back then, even at welterweight. I think they fucked up not giving him the title shot. I don't know why they wouldn't. And there's he gets sick and all this, and he's had to pull out of a few times, and it is what it is. Like, hopefully he has access to a lot better like training facilities and camps and stuff that can keep him healthy and keep him active as well, especially since he's not cutting the 170. But no, I really, really want to see what Chimaev's made of in the elite level. Because obviously he beat Whitaker. But like I said, I don't know if Whitaker is at the elite tip of the spear anymore. I really don't. Love Whitaker, but it is what it is. You got to say it. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't, hopefully he doesn't have to wait till October. Hopefully it's easily in the summer. It'd be a huge main event in the summertime. I think and then you pair that possibly with Topuria Makhachev. I don't know. But if they want to sell some like huge pay-per-views, do huge numbers, I think that's what you do. I think you double up on that. But obviously UFC isn't known for making great cards anymore. So I doubt that would happen. They'll probably split them off to get, all the juice for the squeeze. And then, yeah, no, I'm really excited for that. And speaking of Taporia, Olivera, there was an interview that came out recently and it was translated, and I'm hoping it was, translated accurately because I don't speak Portuguese. But it was saying, the guy was asking basically, hey, would you fight Taporia for the title shot? And he's like, no, I don't really want to fight. Like, I'll fight him for the title, but not before the title. Like, he wants the title shot now. And I'm pretty sure he was, if I'm not mistaken, I think him and Chandler was the number one contender fight. At least that's what they were saying. And for some reason, the Golden Goose Chandler, they really, really wanted him to get the belt. I still have no reason. Like, I don't understand why Dana White loves him so much. Maybe it's the politics shit. Maybe it's, behind the scenes. I don't know. I don't know much about the situation, but I just don't understand why they'd want a 38-year-old, fucking, what is he now? 1-5 in his last 6? I mean, come on, bro. Even before that, 1-4. And no, I really hope that Olivera fights soon. And I think he needs to fight one more time because beating Chandler, like I said, the guy has a dog shit UFC record. I don't think that's enough to get a title shot. Especially people are saying that Paddy Pimblett should get the title shot, which, I love Paddy, but pump the brakes. Like, he needs to beat an elite fighter. Chandler's not an elite fighter. He doesn't qualify you beating or getting a title shot. Same thing with Covington. Some people, like, they think that they fight them and it's like, oh yeah, I beat this guy. No, you got to realize, you got to look at their record before you fought them. And, Chandler just does not move the needle skill-wise. And I think, and then he went on and saying, well, if you're not going to get the title shot, Olivera, then are you going to fight Paddy? And then he says, no, like, I want the title shot. And Taporia is saying that he was promised a title shot. And then Olivera is saying he should get the title shot next. I think the UFC is a little too, I don't know what to say, like, too easygoing about, we'll cover you. Yeah, we'll give you a title shot. Yeah, for sure, you'll get a title shot next. You can't promise it to like 17 people at the same time and then no one knows what they're doing. Especially since the lightweight division, no one really wants to fight each other. Armin's calling for fights, but I think everyone knows that Armin is a nightmare matchup. Well, not a nightmare, but he's like a lesser version of Makhachev and with way less of a name. I mean, that's the thing. I love Armin. He's a really good fighter. He's not great on the mic at all, but I think he's solid. I think him and Taporia are going to be fighting multiple times in the near future, probably the next year or so. Definitely, I can see like a trilogy or something going on with them. But no, I think if I'm Olivera and I'm not getting a title shot, I go Paddy because Paddy's obviously the easier matchup for Olivera than I would say Armin is, because if you look at skill level, like I said, I love Paddy, but I think Armin's better than him. And no, I just don't think that Olivera should get the title shot next. Obviously, if they had to choose between him and Gaethje, holy fuck, no brainer, Olivera for sure. But no, I think the lightweight division needs to figure itself out. Especially, like, I think they should do Makhachev Taporia, but if they don't do that, and Makhachev's waiting around, I don't know why he would wait around, because Makhachev's not in it for the long haul. I don't think he's going to be here in the next year or so. Personally, not because he's ducking or whatever, I don't think he's going to stay, past his prime. I think he's going to, especially with those lighter weight divisions, I think Makhachev's like 33, so he doesn't have a lot of time left, and I don't think Makhachev wants to do rematches. And I think, if he doesn't want to do or fight Taporia, I've heard his camp calling for Gaethje, and I think his camp's calling for Paddy, which, hey, I'd much rather Paddy, but, I think the top of the lightweight division really needs to figure itself out. Do some sort of tournament like they did on this last pay-per-view, like get Gaethje, Taporia, Olivera, Armin, like figure that out, get them fighting, Holloway now, Dan Hooker. I don't think Holloway or Dan Hooker are intriguing matchups for the title at all, so, I think they both lose easily to Makhachev, but I think you throw them in there too just to create some hype. And then, you figure out the top of the division, and then you get Makhachev's next opponent. Because I really want to see Makhachev fight again. I'm a huge Makhachev fan. And I don't like how, like, that's the thing. He's not inactive per se, but I think I'd much rather him. And maybe we're being spoiled by, like, Volk, before the losses, and Pereira and all that, and Adesanya as well. Say what you want about them, but man, were they active, and it's just they brought excitement, you know, and yeah, I don't know. I just really hope that Olivera, like that's the thing. If Olivera got the title shot, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it's just I would not be excited. It'd be the same thing as Merab O'Malley, like just like okay, you know, like another minus 6,000 odd fight, and it's just I don't think that does the UFC any favors, especially since I think they're trying to sign with a new network to do their thing, because I don't think they're gonna re-sign with ESPN. They may, but I think they're gonna stray away from the pay-per-view model, and you know, hopefully they go on Netflix, because that'd be sick. I think a lot of places are going to Netflix, like a lot of sports and shit. So yeah, no, that's my thoughts in this latest MMA news, and yeah, tune in for the next video. See you guys next time. Like and subscribe.